Hello, everyone. Welcome to Miss Valley Gaming and welcome to Sports Talk with Dredd. And today we're here to talk about what the media and the fans are missing about Sam Gagner. Now, if you maybe live under a rock, you may not be aware. Maybe you have no internet. Maybe you have a life and so you don't go on the internet. Maybe you just don't subscribe to a bunch of good YouTube channels that talk about sports. But anyways, maybe you don't know Sam Gagner, the former Oiler, has re-signed with the team on a PTO, so a player tryout contract. He's not under a technical contract. He's just signed and said that he will come to camp, perform at training camp, and attempt to earn himself a contract with the team. Now, a lot of articles have already been written about this, and rightly so. And a lot of them have touched on what a great human being Sam Gagner is. And I don't know him personally, but from afar, I would agree. He seems like a very genuine, a very nice man, very friendly, very honest, very open, very willing to help out and to be front and center and give interviews and just talk about his life and his life as a hockey player and all of these things. They're great. Now, people have been talking about Sam's accomplishments. You know, he's a journeyman hockey player. He was a sixth overall pick. He bounced around in the league, right? He was there for her in Edmonton during the decade of darkness. He scored 8 points in a game. Did he really? I thought the NHL looked at it and said they were taking a point away, but then never did it. I don't know. Let's not get into that. But anyways, still on the books, he scored 8 points, 4 goals, 4 assists in one game. Was that versus LA? For some reason, I think it might have been versus LA. Anyways, I don't remember. We'll move on. Um, so a lot has been talk. A lot of articles have been written about Sam Gagner. A lot of people have tweeted on X or they've X'd on X. Do we know what a tweet on X is called now? Well, I don't know. They talked on social media about this. They certainly articles. There's been an interview with Sam Gagner after he signed his PTO. You know, it goes on and on. And again, I say rightly so. But they've talked a lot in some of the articles about um, the fact that he's on a PTO and what position he's trying to basically steal away from another player, and how he's in a dogfight with 4 to 5 other players for a very last position on the team, which would be 12 forward, because the Oilers are not going to be able to carry 13 forwards just because of their cap concerns. How this would have to be if he gets a contract, it would have to be a minimum league minimum contract, right? They talked all about that. They talked about the fact that hey, maybe he's willing to sign a two-way contract to go down. We can bring him back up later when we got injuries. All the people have pointed out. Thank you, original Poozer. I think it Poozer. Really appreciate originals stuff that he puts out on the internet. Most of his comments and stuff, and his little speeches he gives on the Oilers. I really do agree with most of it. So good guy. Um, Ira, I believe his name is. Anyways, has pointed out that you can't just have an injury and bring him up. That's not going to work for the Oilers because of their cap situation. They're going to have somebody on long-term injury and play short and have an emergency call up before you can actually call somebody up from the minors to fill in for somebody else. So if Sam were to sign a two-way contract to go down to Bakersfield, his chances of actually playing for the Oilers, even if he's lights out down there, are not that great. Plus, I think he'd have to clear waivers to go down and clear waivers to come back up, would he not? So if he's playing really great, he might not make it back up to the Oilers. And if the Oilers are somewhere where he wants to be in Edmonton, and it really seems like he did. I mean, he signed a PTO, but this is his hometown. I think he wants to and has moved his family back to town if they haven't already been there in the off seasons, anyways. He works out with the Oilers players, I believe. This is a guy who really seems like he wants to probably not think too much about retiring, but it has to be in the back of his mind. I'm sure he talks over with his wife and his family, that he probably wants to retire and be in Edmonton if at all possible. What he wants to do after retirement, I don't know, but the rumors have been strong that the Oilers want him in the organization after his retirement. So, um, so we've talked a lot about in different articles. We've read in different articles about Sam. We've heard a lot about people saying it would be awesome to have him back on. We would so love to have him back on the Oilers, but take the emotion out of it, and mentally, is it the best thing? He's not a quick player. He's not a large player. He's not known as a penalty killer, although he did a little bit of that in Detroit recently. He's not super strong on faceoffs. I don't think he's a right-handed center, is he? I think he's left-handed. Um, you know, they're looking as like, how would you really want him to be your fourth line center? Like, is that ideal even? And if he's taking a job away from somebody else, isn't somebody else in the organization, maybe as a younger person and stuff, would it be better if they were pushing through to the NHL? So there's a lot of different stuff going on. But I think the media and the fans have missed out on something, and I want to share it with you about Sam Gagner and his return to the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, he'll be there in training camp. We know that. Beyond that, we don't know right now. I think I think this is the Jeff Jackson signing. I do. I hear Sam Gagner's father, Dave, works for the was it the Wasserman Group, I believe it is, that they used to be that Jeff Jackson used to be a part of. I believe Jeff Jackson actually used to be Sam Gagner's agent. Um, was his first client, I believe. So I believe more so. I think Ken Holland, although Ken Holland is very loyal, I don't think he has that loyalty to Sam Gagner because he already traded him away once at a deadline. You know, Sam's not Ken's guy, right? That's just my thinking on that. But I think Jeff Jackson has a lot of loyalty to Sam Gagner, and I think he knows what it would mean to this organization. First of all, just to have him come back on that PTO, he knows that's huge. That's good for the fans, and it's good for Sam. Okay. He also realistically knows how incredibly difficult this will be for him to make the team. So here's what I'm thinking. Jeff is probably the one guy who could sit down and actually talk to Sam and say, "You're really wanting to go to Bakersfield? Are you really wanting to catch on with Arizona and try and eke out another 30, 40 games this season? Like, is that really what you want to do? Because we have opportunities here for you in the organization." So that's first of all. Second of all, I think he knows it's a good thing for the fans and Sam for Sam to be back because if you're playing this right in the preseason at one of the Oilers home games, you have a Sam Gagner appreciation night. You do it all the bells and whistles. You bring out the bobbleheads. You sell the Sam Gagner sweaters. You get Sam to sign stuff maybe and auction it off. You play clips of interviews with Sam and Sam's highlights during the game to the fans. And at every chance they have, you get allow the fans to cheer for Sam Gagner and just warm his heart and warm the fans' hearts at the same time. That is a magical thing. And that should, could, and hopefully will happen. Um, Beyond even that, though, there's even more to this because I think if Sam doesn't make the team, I think there's about a 50-50 chance that he decides, no, I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna join the Oilers organization and I'm gonna win myself a Stanley Cup as a member of the organization. And I think in that case, the thing to do, and I think Jeff Jackson will make sure this happens, sign Sam Gagner to a 1-day contract and announce his retirement. Have him retire an Edmonton Oiler. These are the two things: the Sam Gagner appreciation night and the Sam Gagner 1-day signing and retiring as an Oiler. That I think you can do that are the right things to do for Sam Gagner, the right things to do for the organization, and the right things to do for the fans. And I haven't heard many people talk about these things. I don't know. I may not be the first. I don't follow everybody out there on sports. So, but that's my take on what the media and the fans right now are missing about the Sam Gagner signing here in Edmonton. I think ultimately I mean, I would love Sam Gagner to be playing at a super high level in training camp and to show that he could be a great checker, he could be a great penalty killer, he could bring the shootout moves, he could bring some offense to the fourth line. And they're like, no, we have to have him on the roster. But that means we've got a young forward, Raphael. What? Oh crap! Now I can't remember the guy's name. Our young forward, who's more of a winger than a center. But anyways, 23-year-old kid. He would have to go down to the minors, and if he's got promise, he might get picked up by somebody because you have to clear waivers, and they don't really want to lose him. They think he could be a good scorer, a good kind of third line scorer at some point in the NHL. That's what the Oilers are hoping. So Sam might cause a domino effect of losing that player too by signing him. So they have to be really, really 100% sure on Sam Gagner before they offer him a contract. And yes, Sam loves playing hockey, and Sam could go down and play in the minors, or Sam could probably go hook up with another team somewhere for a minimum and play for another year. But I know he struggled through. I don't want to use the word struggle, but recovering from major injury to your hips, is a struggle. You're trying to get back to normal, and then trying to ramp up for hockey after that. You don't have a lot of time, and without that hockey training, he's going to be behind the eight ball already, and that's tough. And I feel bad for Sam. He doesn't want to end his career now, but Sam, maybe it's time to. Maybe it's time to. I don't know. But everybody, that is my thought on what the media and the fans are missing about Sam Gagner. Sam, welcome back to Edmonton. I'm not from Edmonton myself, but I've rooted for Edmonton since 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 the day Gretzky was traded. I no offense to Wayne Gretzky, I was never a Gretzky fan. I was a Pittsburgh Penguins and Mary Lemieux fan. To this day, I think Mary Lemieux is the most talented player hockey has ever seen. Gretzky is second. But I was a Lemieux fan, so I was never really a Gretzky fan. But once he got traded, I became a fan of the Oilers because I wanted to know what could the Oilers do without him. Well, what they could do is they could win another cup. Is what they could do. So they impressed me, and I became a fan of the Oilers after that. Was never one up till that point. So I have been a longtime Oilers fan, though, and although I'm not in the city, I would just say, Sam, welcome home. Best of luck to you, and hopefully it works out in amazing ways. Thank you all for watching Miss Valley Gaming and Sports Talk with Dredd. My name is Dredd. I'm out of here. Bye bye.